What is up, guys? My name is MipZ and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be teaching you guys a little bit about how to play Nasus. So Nasus is honestly one of my all-time favorite ADCs, and for a lot of reasons. First of all, this champion is perfect for players that like kind of a clear progression when they're trying to climb, and that really likes to try and solo carry and scale into the late game, because this champion has basically infinite scaling. He's very fun to play. Also, he's a great champion for newer players to get into in terms of learning wave management, having patience overall, and figuring out how the late game works. So yeah, this is a very fun one, and also he's just a champion that mechanics are fairly easy, but there's a lot of depth to him. Anyway, this video is gonna be hopefully for all of you, whether you're a complete beginner, intermediate or advanced player, then hopefully there is something you can pick up. All right, so as we're starting off here, we can start off talking about one of the key things with Nasus, and you'll see me right now hanging a little bit back, being a little careful. And the reason for this is actually that Nasus early game is not great. This is where he struggles the most. But as we start scaling, that's where we really, where we can do something. Like this, as you guys could see, was definitely not worth it. I took a lot of damage. I didn't really get anything back. However, Nasus is also a fairly forgiving champion in the sense that, simply put, Nasus gets a lot of health back through his passive that allows him to, lifesteal whenever he deals damage. So even when you're making mistakes on this champion, you're gonna most of the time be in a pretty decent spot. Thing is, as I said, Nasus is not great in early game, and this actually means that he struggles quite heavily against very aggressive champions. Garen, I would say, is one of not his biggest counter, but definitely not an easy one. As Garen goes a little too aggressive there, we're gonna try and punish, because he went over and basically started hitting us while we were between all of our own minions. So for this reason, what I chose to do is I chose to slow him using our W and letting our minions do a lot of damage, which meant that we ended up having a somewhat equal trade. All right, so I made a huge mistake right there. I used my Ciphering Strike onto a normal minion. This is something you honestly you of course want to do, but if there's a large minion, then you always want to preserve your Q for that one, because the large minion gives you a lot more of your siphoning strikes, which is your primary thing. You can see if we hold over our siphoning strike, you can see we get up to like 12 stacks from a large minion compared to only 3 from a little one. So it's much more worth, and the whole thing that we need to focus on with Nasus is that we need to stack. That is our finest job. We are going to be a late game horse. So in the early game, the best thing you can do for yourself is play careful, focus on your CS, try not to really go for any trades if you can avoid it, because against most champions, you are probably not going to out-trade them. Things you can do is when they overextend like this, you can try and see if you can hit a W on them to slow them and maybe make your tower help you out a little bit. But as you can see right here, we can just hang out. We're now waiting for the big minion, and we're going to make sure that we queue this one so we get stacks. So as we get that one, then we're going to get the rest of our minions. Boom. And as much as we can, we're going to last hit using our Q so we get these siphoning strikes. Right now, we're at 51. I have kind of this rule of thumb that once you hit around 100 stacks, then usually you're going to be able to trade. Or at least you're going to be able to, against some champions, start winning fights. You never, in my opinion, want to fight with Nasus below 100 stacks unless they literally just give it for free. So play carefully, just farm up, hang back. You could also see this Garen kind of trying to push in for, he really wants to be aggressive. You can see every time I move forward, he really wants to do something at this point. And you can see me hitting him like with a Q here and there at this point doesn't really, it doesn't do much. Like it's not really worth it for us. Seeing as he's level 6 and he's playing Ignite, this guy, he's a little frustrated at this point. He really wants us to fight. He is making a couple of mistakes by basically just constantly shoving us under to, or constantly shoving us, but not letting us come completely under turret. Because yes, we're losing CS and we are falling behind on CS, but he's actually not putting us in the worst spot ever. Like this is actually a pretty fine place for us to be as we get a few more stacks. Once we hit past 100, we're gonna start to be in a place where we can actually challenge him. So that also kind of puts us in a talk about a little bit around items. And this is something that I feel like has been quite universal basically in all league seasons. And that is that Nasus has a couple of different options. Usually it's always using a Trinity Force in most seasons for good reasons, just an awesome item for him. Or a, I don't remember what the other item is called. But the sense is that usually he wants to build a Sheen at some point. If you feel like you're in a spot where you're like, I think I can, oops, actually, I wanted to put it on the minion. All right. I see someone there. But usually on him, you want to build a Sheen at some point, this blue sword item. And this one is really nice. You can choose to build it a little sooner if you feel confident that you're going to go for a or get a kill. Personally, I almost always recommend it, even if you're not going for kill, especially for newer players. And the primary reason for this is simply put that using this item early and for new players makes it easier to last hit minions, because after you use abilities, you can see that your next attack deals some bonus damage. This just makes it flow a little easier for you while getting into learning CS. Also, it's a great item for going for those early game fights if you feel like you're in a comfortable spot for it, or if you just need that extra inch of power compared to building the Hearthbound axe. Most guides will tell you to build a Hearthbound axe, and you can, and it's not bad at all by any means. Okay, so if this guy overstays, so right now he's tanking a little bit, and this is where I'm like, it's quite close that we can beat him, especially as Fiddle comes down here. Then we should be able to. We're gonna pop our stuff here, and we should be able to win that one. Got a little closer than Comfort, but that was really nice. All right, so this gives us a moment to kind of catch up on the lost CS. Like, we are 30 CS behind, but just getting that kill, since we got the assist, we didn't fully catch up. But if we had gotten that kill, then that would in turn mean that we got what's equal to 30 gold, or 30 minion kills, which means that it would now be completely equal. But this is good. We're gonna get a few stacks. We're gonna back off. We do have TP, so that's good. We still have that. The reason why we didn't use it a moment ago is simply put that we didn't really have anything to gain from it. Like he was, we're gonna get that. He was anyway kind of stalling the lane, and I couldn't go here and farm because this guy would win in a 1v1 situation. So that's not something I like. It wouldn't give us anything to TP up there, and that's something you need to be quite aware of when playing any top laner, and especially something like Nasus. It's like, using your teleport, use it with purpose. If there's no purpose, then there's no purpose, and then there's no point doing it, right? So I'm gonna take a few traits on him here, not because I'm expecting us to kill him here, just because as we're up, he's gonna get minion. Can we get a tower shot on him? No. Okay. And just because if I can just chip away a little bit of his health, then we might be able to do a 1v1 fight. Something you can do against something like Garen here is you can actually go ahead and use your E to stop his passive, because Garen's passive is quite annoying. It lets him get HP back pretty much all the time. I want to get that one. I'm gonna just run away here. I'm not gonna fight him. And he might go for he might want to go for a aggressive play with an ult under turret. I feel like this guy is one of those. So I'm hanging back a little bit extra. I'm having my trigger finger on my ult because my ult gives us some extra HP. So that might actually fool him. So I'm going to use it here. I'm fairly sure that he's going to put himself in a poor situation. You can see right there, we actually traded really well with him. And I think he has already used his TP. So what we can do is we can consider going for a back and a TP. There's 2 minutes till Drake. So, and we have a 5-minute CDs on our teleport. So we're going to kind of think about whether or not it's going to be worth it. I don't want to be losing this tower. So he is really, really looking for... he gets a turret shot. All right. I'm not going to back here. He's just going to think that. We're just waiting and we're staying. Because I want to make sure we get that big minion here. That's what's hugely important for us. We're at 171 stacks now. So we're really starting to become a real danger to him. The thing is with Nasus, like a big part for the enemy team is that they really do need to try and shut you down early, because as we start stacking, we become a grave danger for them. So I'm gonna just shove this lane. I'm fairly sure Garen is back in his space hanging out. So we're gonna just make sure we get as many stacks as possible here. There we go. We're at 73. I'm gonna back, but I'm actually gonna look down. Oh shit! I didn't notice this. This was pretty poor by me. I want to make sure that I'm looking at bot side right now, because potentially we could do a TP play down here. Okay, so he stops our back again. Okay. He really doesn't want us to back, which is interesting. Well, we don't have mana for the fight, but I do have my trigger finger again on our ult. Just for the extra HP if he goes for something. And he's wasted. I think he used his ignite, so he wasted quite a lot on this. So we're backing out. We're gonna grab that one, and we're in a pretty good spot. I'm gonna hurry with TP here. I think we can get back, and we're just gonna run him down instantly, because I believe we can beat him now. So we're just gonna go nuts and put him in a very bad spot. So this is exactly what you want to be doing. Is just scale up till you're basically a last boss. We did lose our turret, and you could discuss whether or not running him down versus getting the turret was worth it, because it was first turret. But for the purpose of just showing that Nasus is like a huge scaler and just doing this, it's not really that difficult, and it's something you can do to quite high rating, like just learning to really master his safety, like playing him fairly safe. Which I think could in turn like let us talk a little bit about what are some of the pros and cons with Nasus. I just need to check the map real quick, see if we're in any trouble. I don't have TP, so I cannot help bot, but I can go for a push here. Alright, so some of the thing is that Nasus is generally a quite strong CSer, and what I mean with this is he's quite easy to get creep score with as soon as you kind of rock past the early, like the very, very early game. In early game, he can be a little tricky, mostly because like he is very, very susceptible to poke. And that can be quite annoying when you face stuff like Garen or you face Darius. These kind of champions can be a huge pain. All right, so right here, I'm gonna try to just get a few stacks here by hitting this a little bit while we're waiting for Garen to push up, because yes, I am potentially stronger than him when I have everything, but right now I feel like it's a little risky going for the fight full HP is full, especially as he just finished off a full item. So going for that fight right now is not something I particularly like. So I'm just gonna grab this jungle camp to get a few stacks while I wait. And we're gonna hang back. We're gonna grab that, and you can see he really wants to beat us up. I see Pyke on his way up here, so right here I might try to kind of bait him out. He knows he's coming. I do have ult. He stays very close. How's Pyke doing overall? He's 214. The thing is, I'm a little afraid that one of us might die during that fight, because it does take us a little moment to get him down. Yeah. Okay, I am wasting my ult, but it's fine because I'm actually not completely wasting it. And this is something some people kind of sleep on, is you're like, oh, why did you use your ult there? Whoop, okay, this is I didn't expect him to go back in for a fight. We're just backing out from it. The thing is that when you use your ult on Nasus, your Siphoning Strike gets a much lower CD while it's up, which can be a quite huge thing for just really quickly stacking some minions on there, or some stacks. Let's grab that one. We do have a control ward. All right, so we're gonna go back up, but it can be quite nice, especially if there's like a huge wave and there's no fight anytime soon. Then actually using your ult, because to just get that lower CD can sometimes actually be worth it. It's something that I at least can recommend players that already kind of found the groove with Nasus to start using or start figuring out when they have these small like time pockets where they could potentially optimize their stacks using their ult. But it has to be done with caution, because as you do it, you're kind of selling yourself short with like you not being able to participate very actively in fights for quite some time. But yeah, some of the pros, just get back to what we talked about before, of playing Nasus. Just he's easy to CS with. He's quite a tanky champion. He has good sustain with his passive, allowing him to heal and his Siphoning Strike. He's actually a very heavy late gamer, which means that you can actually win late game basically by yourself on this champion. So he has a lot of solo game or solo carry potential, right? So at this point, I do believe I can beat this guy in 1v1s, and I think we are gonna start actually just chipping away on him. And something we want to think about is we're just gonna pop that. We have Ghost. He's not gonna be able to run away, so even if you're on Thunder's hurt here, then he is just he's just gone. Got a little too close with that one shot, but... And while we still have ult, we're going to hurry up. We're going to get as much as we can out of our stacks. And as it goes, you can see here we have quite a lot of stack. We have 400 pretty much at this point. Grab that one. But yeah, he is just really fun. And like, honestly, this guy, it's a dog. Like, who would not like to play this? And he might not be that cute, but in my opinion, this guy deserves a snack whenever you play him. He is just a very fun champion. So yeah, early game, play safe, get your stacks. As we kind of go into mid and late game, let's talk about how to play him here, because this is where a lot of people kind of mess up with Nasus. They just go in and they group up with their team, and they're just running around as one big team and just being like, ah, yeah, we're strong together. But that's not really the point. Nasus is actually, more than anything, a split pushing champion. And what I mean with this is Nasus is so strong that you're going to be able to win most 1v1s, even 1v2s, quite often. So what you want to do is you want to try to position yourself in the mid to late game, depending on whether you have TP or not. And what I mean with this is if you have teleport, you want to position yourself at the opposite side of the map compared to where the objective is. The reason for this is then you're dragging the other top player or the other players away from the objective, and potentially, all right, this guy really wants to fight. The thing is, at this point, he doesn't really stand that much of a chance. So I'm just gonna eat him alive. All right, he's running. Gonna grab a few extra stacks. If he comes back, like we can beat him at this point, and we get full HP back. We have 1 minute on our ult, so we're pretty good. But as I was saying, if you have TP, you want to make sure that you're opposite side of the map like we are now. We see the Drake fights going down. I want to run back here, and I want to make sure that I TP in if I can find a ward. We have a ward down here. I'm TPing in. I'm pinging to my mates that I'm coming. I don't have ult, so this is kind of a mess up on my part. But we are going to go down here, and we should be able to grab a free kill on this army. Whoop. Snack her. All right, that guy ran away. Let's see if we can... I don't think we can find her. All right, so we didn't get that much, but we did get the Drake, which was the important objective for here. I kind of misplayed that a little bit, let her out of my grasp. But my point being, yeah, as you want to use your TP, he's going to run right into us. And we're popping our E first. The reason for this is quite simply that when we pop our E, okay, I can put a ward. I see my Vex teleporting. I'm hoping she's going to hit her fear here. Yep. All right. As that fear stops, we're going to slow him. And we are just going to smack him in the face. Now, but my point being is if you have teleport, you want to stay, like, position yourself on the opposite side of the map of the next objective to pull the enemy team away from the objective. If you don't have teleport, then generally speaking, you want to try to position yourself in the lane closest to the next objective. So as you can see right now, we are in a position in 2 minutes. We have TP back, meaning that if next objective is Baron, then we can actually go ahead and position ourselves in bot lane. We also have the option that if we can see that we cannot win the Baron fight, then potentially we can go ahead and TP bot when they go Baron. There's different options here, but there's 4 kills on the enemy team, so we're just gonna go ahead and start moving in here. There we go, and we can finish off our item. We should probably have backed a little while ago. There's 120 till the Baron is coming up, and I'm just gonna go group so we can push this and hip. Feel like that is the most important objective because they are spawning pretty soon. I don't want my team to get caught getting outnumbered, so just grabbing that one. I'm gonna go potentially grab the wave top here, and once we're done with this wave, we're gonna look for a back because there's Baron in 50 seconds. I'm gonna ping that for my team. We are quite strong. We are a lot of hit. So I'm gonna go up here. We're gonna grab ourselves these minions. We'll get a couple of stacks. There we go. And want to make sure. Oh, shit. I just had a pop-up on my screen that messed up my mouse. All right. Anyways, we should have gotten that big minion, but GG Windows. So I'm going to go ahead and grab ourselves that one. And I'm going to look down here if I can do anything to help. The 3 people, it's Garen died, so it is equal numbers down here. I don't really want them to fight. I'm just keeping my eyes out. So while we're waiting, I'm gonna try to grab a little bit of CS. We're gonna make sure that we at no point waste our time, that we constantly do something productive for the game. So as it is here, we're just making sure that we get some extra stacks. I am considering whether or not I can do anything topside. or if I should do something else. I think I'm gonna look to just annoy them a little bit here, put some vision down, make sure that we... I'm gonna grab a ward there. I see Ashe is standing all by herself in here. I do have Ghost. If she goes too far out, we can kind of just run her down. Oh, okay. So I see Vi coming up here. So we're gonna moving off because they are 3 people. They might have a ward somewhere that I haven't noticed. All right, that guy. We're using Ghost here, not because we cannot beat Garen, but mostly because I can see the rest of them moving up here, and I honestly don't want to face all of them at once. So we're running away. I might have to ult quite early. There we go. So the reason why I wanted to ult early against this specifically is because I knew that Garen is going to go ahead and silence us. So if I hold on to it, he might actually just lock me such that I'm not able to. We got 2 kills down, and I'm going to try to call for a Baron potentially after. Right now they're on Drake. I can't really, like, I'll TP there if something happens down there. But for now, I see that everything is safe. I'm going to grab my minions. Gonna make sure I become the absolute last boss that I should. And we're going to go for this Baron. So, pinging that. We're going to make sure we just pop a ward here. Oh my god, I missed it. I'm an idiot. We're just going to go here. I'm going to start it. It's fine. It's fine. I can go ahead and start this. We'll tank up anyway. But yeah, a very big part about Nasus in late game is you actually don't really want to be a champion that just hangs around your team all the time. You actually want to do quite the opposite. You want to make sure that you get stacks whenever you're able to. So basically, don't waste your time trying to constantly fight. Only fight when necessary. All right, so that's very... All right, good. All right, at this point, we are in a really good spot. We should be able to close the game, potentially. As my team is just rushing these down. I don't know if I should have chased with them. The thing is, I could go in here. I'll do that. I'll TP in. There's 3 dead. 2 people are running around, can't back. And we can finish off the game right here, most likely. So we're going to go ahead and just smack this with all our power and might. You can see how much damage we're doing. Well, that's that. We're going to see if we can finish it off. We have ult in a moment. We might not be able to. No, if we had all the 1 second more. But anyway, we opened up their entire base. They did get a shot down on us. But that was quite a fun thing. I should have done that a little sooner. We would have finished the game. But as you can see, Nasus' potential is... Yeah, he's a lot of fun. He is a lot of fun to play. He's such a strong dude that just, like, that dog, he can 1v3, 1v5 if you get enough stacks, and if they screw up. So he's amazingly fun whenever you do team fight on him. And I feel like this is something we haven't touched that much on. Whenever you do team fight on him, when you TP in, then generally speaking, I know this is not what I did in the past on the last fight, is that you want to try to rush down their squishies, meaning their ADC, etc. But even if you're gonna run past someone, then make sure that, like, you use your Siphon and Strike on an enemy if you're running past them, or on a minion. First of all, to deal some damage, or if it's a player. But secondly, because you're gonna proc your Trinity Force, and Trinity Force is gonna give you that extra attack speed, which is just gonna make you reach that target faster. Also, think about using your TP in a way where you can flank the squishies, because if you reach their ADC or their mid laner, like, honestly, they are in the world of trouble. Like, it takes too long to kill you, and you deal, like, you kill them in most likely 1 to 2 hits. So yeah, this is just a champion that makes League so enjoyable to play. We're gonna push that. We don't have a lot of vision going on. Next objective is Drake, and that's 120. So there's a couple of things we can do here. First of all, I don't want to push too far. And the reason for this is simply just that I don't know where they are. So I'm going to grab this for a little bit of vision. We can do one of two things. One, we can go fight with our team, which is definitely an option. I'm going to try and grab that if I can. I didn't get it. It was close. We can go fight with our team around Drake, or as they go Drake, we can use our ghost, run around them, and just finish the game. I think for the fun of it, we're going to go for the fight. We're going to try and go behind them here. Because I think we can beat them up. And if the fight is not going to end before we even get there. Alright, so the fight is actually pretty much done. So we're going to go ahead. We're just going to push because we can finish the game. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, no, dang it. We had the turrets back. I actually didn't notice. Oh, well. I think we can still finish it off. We do have ult. This guy is running right into our open arms. Okay, never mind. Almost. Kind of hoped we could get a Fiddle Fear in there and kind of nap him, but... Alright, so we have 8 seconds. We can get some... Oh god, we're actually messing this up. Okay, yeah, that's my bad. That's a little greedy. We had 2 options. I think... I messed up a little bit there, to be fair. We had a couple of different options. One, we could push. Just push and hip and push by ourselves real quickly. We hesitated a little bit. We wanted to do the fight, but the fight kind of ended. And then they dispersed off. So I think in a real game, or I would probably just have gone for the objective. Or potentially gone for the objective over here. Made sure we pushed in and opened up for 2 inhibs. Yeah, that's a couple of different options. We definitely chose the wrong one for that fight. We do have TP. There's some people getting picked off. 44 seconds on Baron. If they go Baron, seeing as the base is quite open, we can TP in there. We're saving our TP for now. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to go down. We're going to push bot. Because if I go up here, seeing as Baron is up very soon... Then, first of all, we can TP to Baron, which is nice. We have to just hold mid for a moment here. Just look scary. Oh, he's gonna go... I don't hope Fiddle goes in. Oh, okay. Well, okay, that's fair. Fair enough. Fair enough. Good pick. So, Severe's running down mid. So, I'm gonna go bot here. We're gonna push this. Put some pressure. We need some vision in here. I'm going to ping it. Hopefully, if they're on it, we might have to TP. So I'm keeping my eye out for it. Okay, there's no one down there. So that's good. So I'm going to push this in such that we have, generally speaking, pressure around all of the lanes. Because top is pushing in right now. Mid is somewhere on the middle, but we have inhib down. So that's going to push automatically. If I go here and I push this, then they have to send someone to defend, or they have to take the fight quite soon. If they go Baron, I can TP base and I can just finish. So I'm going to look for this. I'm just keeping an eye out for what's going on. Okay, I don't have a ton of vision. So we're hanging a little bit back. I know for a fact that we can most likely win a 1v2 here. If need be. All right, they're coming down. So I actually didn't really want Severe to group up with us here. I wanted to put pressure myself. We could let them go. We could take Baron if they take Baron, and then I just keep pressure. Like, there's no point for us to do a 5v5. Especially seeing as we're sitting in a position where we can quite easily split them up, right? But I am aware that this is not a game that I can control. So I'm hanging close just so I know what's going on. And I'm actually mostly looking at the map at this point. All right, I am gonna go ahead. We have one teammate down. I can't change that. So we're gonna go get him in the hip. That's gonna make sure that we by no means lose the fight here. If the enemy team screws up, then they will lose the game before we can ult as we get to the last turns. At this point, we're just doing everything we can to push really quickly. I have ult as we get to the last ones if necessary. This guy comes back. And we're pretty strong at this point. They have 3 people. I think the red... Oh my god, turret. With the next wave, we could potentially... Oh, we can go up here. We'll get the last one. Oh my god, I get this Windows bug again. Are you kidding me? Alright, we're gonna go up here. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and use my ult. And I don't care that I'm not gonna... Oh, we're just gonna grab that. I just wanted to open up their base. Oh, that's bad. Okay, I messed up. I wanted to open up their base. I did not see the Zoe coming back. I actually wanted to get that in hip down. Because getting both in hips or all 3 would have been good, but this respawned too. Alright, we're gonna grab ourselves the Giant's Belt. Our team is going Baron. It's a little dangerous when we're not alive, especially as they're going to be 5 and we have 30-second CD. So this is a very dangerous Baron at this point, which could actually be game turning. They get it. Yeah. So Garen stole it. That was not great, to be honest. That was definitely not great, but yeah. I do think that it is quite nice also that I can show some gameplay where it's not like perfect play in any ways. You guys can see like kind of the how things can go up and down. So I think this is an interesting approach. We're going to try to go down and go on the Drake potentially. We are 1 man on now outnumbered. Yeah, we won't get there in time. I do have a TP. So if they start pushing too much or screw up, then potentially we can go for a game-ending play with a TP. Or at least we can go in and kill their inhibitors fairly easy. Alright, so I'm going to go a little to the side here. See if we can nab off the blue buff. Alright, so I do think we can go for a bit of this fight. Alright, nope. We kind of messed up. I thought we could do that because I saw that their Ashe was bot side. So I honestly thought we could do that, but still, they do have Baron buff, and I think we were 1 guy down, right, before the fight started. This might turn into a loss. We're back on 4-4-4, which is not perfect, but it's something. We have TP, so we can always go. We have the chance of going for a cheesy play, but the thing is, I think there's a good chance they will end the game before. We have Pyke coming back. They're not going to be able to do anything. It is going to be GG. Oh well, it's GG, but I hope this kind of at least showed off a little bit of how to play Nasus and the different things. We could definitely have turned this around. This just wasn't the greatest game I've ever played. That's at least a fair assumption, but it was a fun one nevertheless. I hope some of you guys learned something. If you did, make sure to smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.